Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Sorry, we're a little bit late, a little bit behind, but we truly appreciate you guys waiting for us. How's it going, Brandon?
Going pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I had something interesting happen today. I did write it on Facebook, but I thought it was kind of cool. I guess it really wasn't cool for my neighbor. It really sucked for him, but so I was, you know, I was in the kitchen, I was cleaning and stuff, and all of a sudden I just got this, like, go move your car. I just heard that, right? And I usually park in the front of the house or whatever, and I just had this, go move your car. And I was like, yeah, but Dre and I are running to the store in a few minutes. So I like in a little bit, like an hour. So maybe I'll just wait. And then I was like, no, I better go move my car. So I said that to Dre. I was like, okay, I'm going to go move my car. And he's like, why? We're leaving right away. You know, we're going to run to the store. And I said, no, I feel like I have to go move the car. So, you know, and I kind of went and got my shoes and got my jacket. And probably about 5 minutes. I'm walking out the door. Freaking teenager comes from around the corner, smashes into my neighbor's car. Literally just as I'm standing there. And I'm like,
wow.
Well, I guess I don't have to move my car now. But I felt it coming. I felt it coming. And I was like, okay, listen to your senses. And yeah, so I'm in the back.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was like, it was so, but you know, so I went to my neighbors and I was like, yeah, I actually got pictures of the guy that hit your car just in case you need them. Yeah, it was just literally right in front of me. I'm walking out. I hear this, like, you know, the sound of metal, and look up, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm good. So I don't need to move mine right now. I'm like, okay, but yeah, I felt it coming.
That is such good validation and proof. You know, keeping up with this thought and idea of following your intuition. So as you know, Kathy, I've been doing, and you guys all know, I'm in real estate now. And I've always felt like a luxury person. I felt like that was the way to go for me. I think some of you have seen, you know, the little retreat that I want to build. And a luxury listing came to me. It was a referral. And God, it was just literally following my own intuition that literally all of this fell into my lap. And then there's all these other coincidences. I mean, yes, a $42 million house, that's pretty epic. But the other coincidence, should I tell them?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Should I say? I'm so nervous. Do it. Okay, so I have had several dreams with Ariana Grande in them, and I always thought that was really weird. So I looked up her natal chart, and then I did ours together. And there's like very like soul kind of bonds there. And her and I have like the same ascendant, midheaven, descendant, all that, and a lot of similar placements. But I always thought that was really weird, and I always told my family and friends and joked around like, "Oh yeah, Ariana, we'll be together in some capacity, whether it's you know, soul friends or mates or whatever it is. I just know that it is." Well, I got this listing, and I'm talking to the guy, and I was going to post it up on Instagram, and I look and I ask him like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to credit you guys for the photo." He's like, "Oh no, credit Ed Butera," and I'm like, okay, whoever that is. I'm like, that sounds kind of familiar. I look it up. Freaking Ariana Grande's dad did the photos for my listing. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? This is crazy. But I mean, these are just two perfect examples of people who work and live as psychic advisors, literally following our own advice and instinct. And we are getting our cars and our lives saved. We're getting opportunities. Like, if y'all need any more reasons to follow your own intuition. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, there really is a benefit to this. There really is different successes that you can absolutely follow when you are tuned in. So if anything, take from our stories here that following that guidance, following that intuition will always, always, always lead you into the right place. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. It's just the matter of listening closely, following the intuition. But the thing is, a lot of times people don't act about that. They don't act on the intuition. They hear it, they know what they're supposed to do. And you know what? It was interesting because today I was actually reading, it was something kind of interesting in regards to the energies right now. And here's the thing is that when people aren't following, especially right now between these lunar eclipses that we've got going on, if people aren't following what it is that they're supposed to be following, they're going to find that things just really aren't kind of working out the way that they're supposed to be working out.
Mm-hmm.
Like spirit is kind of coming in and saying, nope. You know what I mean? So if you're pushing something, or if something is not, and you're not listening to where it is that you're supposed to follow, it's really not making it easy. It's not saying, there's that difference between having the challenges. Okay. Like sometimes if we want to get from A to B, we may have some challenges because those are learning lessons that we're going to need for the final event, the end of what it is that we're looking for. Okay. Sometimes we need to go through some challenges, but then there's some things that are just happening that are kind of just saying, no, this, like, you're not listening to where it is that you're supposed to go. You're not listening to your intuition. And, let's just say, for instance, relationships. Okay. Like a relationship, for instance, that is just, yeah, you're not feeling it. You're not feeling it. You're not, whatever, but you're staying with a person simply because of the fact maybe you feel an obligation, you feel a responsibility, you feel whatever. Things are just going to go more and more and more downhill rather than where they're supposed to be flowing. So if you're supposed to be, let's say, away from that person or in another relationship or whatever, you're going to find that things are going to be easy with that person, the person that you're supposed to be with, not these difficult challenges or not these difficult, and sometimes we get so stubborn in what it is that we're trying to push for that we don't allow things to just flow.
Yeah, we end up getting stuck when you block a flow. I mean, we have all seen it when you block a river from flowing. That damn, if it's not solid, it's gonna break that wall down eventually, and
Yeah.
out comes a flood. And we've seen many examples of that in reality, emotionally. We've seen all sorts of stuff that surrounds that. And yeah, there is a very clear feeling when you're in the flow. And I wrote a song about it called "When I Lose Sense of Time," and I was just working on a song, helping a friend, a colleague of mine, who's writes songs and does performances and stuff. And he sent it to me, and I tried to do a little remix, give my take and opinion. And I was sitting there. It was like 12:30, and 5 minutes later, it was like 4 o'clock, and I'm like, "What just happened? Like, literally, what just happened?" Like,
Yeah.
I went into some wormhole, and 4 hours went by, and I didn't even know it. I'm like, "Whoa." Those are like really good flow states, especially for those of you out there that are like artists and creative. You definitely know what I'm talking about when you get into that flow. Like Kathy, you've been working on your little organite stuff, and I'm sure you just totally lost all sense of time, when you're building that, because you never. Although I don't know, organize different because you have to use time to your advantage in like setting certain things right, and letting them mold. But
Yeah,
it's
but
still the
when I'm
same
coming
premise.
up with the creation of stuff, I usually end up losing a lot of time just in that. Like if I'm trying to create something or if I'm trying to make something intricate, I
Mhm.
tend to lose, the time in there. So
Mhm.
or even if, sometimes even when doing readings or channeling, I can get a little bit lost in things as I go through
Oh,
that
yeah.
as well. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
readings can definitely do that to me too. I'll sit there and I often go over time every single time. I do that all the time. My clients are
see,
usually the ones that are like, "Hey, we're running out of time." I'm like, "I know, I know, I know. Okay."
yeah, I'll shut up now. Time to move on. So I just want to remind everybody how it works. And actually, Brandon, I did forget that we do have a donation that came in, which is Jessica. So we have to put her on the donation list as well. This was she had actually donated last week, but couldn't get it in. So we have to
Okay.
add her to the list. I just wanted to
You
add
wanna
that.
do that first? Do you wanna do
Yeah,
that
we'll do
last?
that one first, and
Okay.
then when we get into the readings, and then we can go into the regular list. So guys, how the readings work for those of you that are new or just coming on, or actually I'm going to put my little banner on so that for anybody, all right. So readings. To get a reading, to get a guaranteed reading, we are doing $10 donations. You can send them to the PayPal address or the e-transfer. That's at crogers at gmail.com. crogers5555 at gmail.com. Now, we want to just talk to you guys for a second. Next week, Brandon and I, we're going to be switching the PayPal information, or we're going to be figuring something out. The reason for that is because so at the end of each show, I always send the like half of the donations to Brandon. But what's happening is because the Canadian to American exchange is so high, and it's not really fair. So what we're going to do is we may transfer it to Brandon's Gmail instead, or PayPal, and just simply because of the fact that the exchange is so much better, and I want to make it fair, and Brandon's a huge, like my partner in this, so it's just that the exchange rate is crazy high, especially for right now, because here in Canada it sucks. So but
Yeah.
so we may be switching that. We're going to be over the next week or so, Brandon and I are going to try and figure something out. We're going to even see if maybe there's a button that we can find or something along that line. So just try to be patient with us for next week. Maybe don't donate until we actually come onto the
Yeah.
show, so
Yeah,
that
it's
we
really
can
something,
have
yeah.
everything all figured out.
Yeah.
And yeah, so and again, as far as readings go, so the things that we don't read on are health. Okay, obviously we don't read on health. We do not read on legal issues. Okay. We are also not your, I like to call them, we're not your spy cams. So we won't read on, a third party situation. We're not going to, unless it involves you, like it can be you in the third party situation, but we're not here to be your, spy cams, bedroom cams, whatever. Like that's none of our business. We don't, if it's not you that's included, we're not looking into that. If it is a medium reading, we will try our best, to pick up. We can't always guarantee that somebody's going to come through. Usually they will,
Mhm.
but we can't guarantee that.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, so we do the donations first, and then we do try to get to the lottery questions afterwards. So yeah, I think I covered everything in that
I think so, yeah.
little spiel.
Yeah, if you guys are listening over on Facebook or I Want to Believe, pop on over to Oracle Intuition's YouTube stream. That way, your question can be asked in the chat. Since I'm moderating, listing all of your questions, I'm not able to see them in Facebook or I Want to Believe. So you'll have to pop over to Oracle Intuitions, hit the subscribe, and of course, give us a like if you're here listening to us today and getting a reading. And then you can submit your question in the chat. When you are submitting questions, put your first name, please, your zodiac sign or your date of birth, and your question all in the chat. That way it's all in one little thing, and I can put that on the list in a nice little perfectly wrapped up bow. And then we can keep a smooth flow so we can get to as many people as possible. That's why we ask that you do that.
Awesome. So, okay. Hey, Melody, how are you? Good to see you. All right. So, guys, we're just going to get everything organized. We're just going to go away for about 3 minutes. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. If you do wish to donate, again, all the information is at the bottom of the screen. If you're here for lottery questions, which we hope we do get to at the end of the show, make sure you put your, like as Brenda said, name, your zodiac sign, the question that you're asking for, and we'll be right back, guys. Hang on. Hello, we are back. Okay. Holy cow, my brain just went blank. What the heck was
That
that?
happens from time to time.
All right. We're going to start off with Jessica. So Jessica's question was in regards to somebody by the name of Nico. And Nico is a Gemini.
Okay.
And Nico, she wanted to know what the energy was between her and Nico, and if there was any possibility, I suppose, of them getting together, or what he's feeling about her. Now,
Okay.
again, I have answered this question, so I am going to kind of throw it at you.
Jessica is Pisces, right?
Yes, she is.
Okay, so a Nico
Nico, yes.
Okay. Let me just kind of pull their energy in. Let me see what I'm picking up between the two of them. Okay, there's Jessica. There's Nico. Oh, okay. That's definitely I feel immediately the sense of like wanting to ride in, burst through walls. I feel an immediate sort of reluctance. The first thing I keep being shown is that there's definitely walls, protection, ego that's kind of there that wants to be bursted through. And it feels like this is kind of happening with the both of them. So this immediately is giving me the impression of them kind of being right in the same page, right on that same line. Let me pull his thoughts, his feelings towards Jessica just to see.
I guess if there's going to be any contact soon, I guess is
that's her main question, is if he's going to like reach out or
yeah,
something.
like kind of that's the and like is there going to be like do you see anything happening with them, and is he going to contact soon, I guess is kind of the thing.
Okay. I'm just being pulled to his energy right now a lot. And the first thing that I'm like being shown here, so Jessica, when you do finally see this, it is a very clear emotional reaction that I'm feeling from Nico. I feel quite a bit of emotions. I feel like though that it's all a bit ambiguous on his end. So there's a feeling in him of like, I'm not sure what to do about these feelings. Can I trust them? Can I rely on them? Are they real? Because I can feel his brain really contemplating this. This is not foreign as far as what I feel from him being a Gemini. For Geminis to do such a thing, you know, they definitely like to grab onto things that are logical and, you know, that they can really conceptualize and in turn kind of grab in their hands, so to speak. But all of this emotional stuff, I think, is kind of sending him for a loop. I think it's putting him in like this very surprised place of like, oh, I didn't fully expect that. I didn't understand it. What I am being shown though, Jessica, is that I do feel a bond is developing here. And what Spirit shows me is that it does start out as like a friendship. That this whole energy between the two of you, this whole connection should not be rushed in any way. And especially because of the fact that there are still those walls up. And I think that they're there for a reason. It feels like a mechanism to not allow the both of you to get wrapped up super quick, because I feel like there could be a tendency to do that. With you, Jessica, I feel like you just can immediately envelop yourself in a person, and you just are like, you feel everything about them, and you're like, yeah, I got you. I have that psychic awareness. I feel where everything's going. With him, I don't feel he relies on that kind of awareness. And with him, this strength of emotions, I think, is very overwhelming and quite powerful for him. So he does need to take his time, and the both of you definitely have to take your time. So I feel that this is a bond that is going to develop, but I think you have to let it start as simple as possible, because I keep being shown that friendship bond is what's going to really be that strength. And then everything else kind of builds from there. So don't rush into anything. Don't be, singing any wedding songs or anything like that right now. It's super important, I think, for you both to ease into this, so that way your walls can come down naturally. That feels like a really important part. I feel like there's a tendency with you, Jessica, because you can feel somebody so deeply, not everybody else can. And so I think you expect, which is natural, for somebody else to let their walls come down in the same pace as well. But I also know that you can exercise a lot of patience, but I can feel your mind kind of working and being like, am I doing something wrong because they're not being this way, or is this happening? And it has nothing, in this regards, this has nothing to do with you. It's their own pace. So pace is going to be your best friend here. Keep it steady, keep it slow. I do feel like there is going to be something developing between the two of you. Again, I specifically see bond, like solid bond. But it has to start at square one. It absolutely has to start at square one. So just take your time in all of this. But
So
wow, beautiful energy though.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I actually picked up something very similar, and I had told her something, very much the same.
Of course.
The same that you had said. And I'm just going to add, to that, it's going to be like you had said, especially the wrapping herself around somebody else. And I feel like it's very important not to replace this person with the previous person. That's going to be very, very important. So, you had a connection with the other person, that was somebody that and it's going to be very important to do the healing that is absolutely necessary first. Because you need to be able to walk into this relationship healed, solid, and not in a place of thinking that they're the other person, and that by their actions and their weird behavior and all of this other junk that they sort of placed upon, the connection that the two of you had. And it's going to be very, very important for you to separate the two of them, because they are completely different people within their morals, their actions, their values. All of that is 100% different. And so if you're looking at Nico's actions in regards to this other person's actions, you're going to sabotage this on your own making, by your own headspace, basically thinking that this person is going to be the same as the last person. And that's going to be a downfall, which is one that you're going to have to be very careful of. So you can't mistake Nico's actions for somebody previously. Okay. And so I hope as you're watching, it's going to be important to, again, really do the healing that is needed. Because without
Absolutely.
the healing, you're going to, again, just mix the combination of energies together. And that is going to, as Brendan said, you're going to have patience and allow this bond to form. So we truly hope that has helped. I know you're probably going to be watching at some point. And so, yeah, there we go.
That's a good connection, though. I like it. And
It
this is
is.
definitely a test, I think, of patience and trusting feelings, but also time. As we know, every good recipe takes some time, for it to cook and come to that perfect space, that perfect fruition. So this is a good test in that. Gemini and Pisces, they are not known for being patient people. Pisces maybe, but not specifically, because they can get wrapped up easy in a whole feeling, and all of a sudden, they're just in it completely.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let's move on to Miguel. So Miguel is a Taurus, just wanting a general reading. Um,
mhm.
Miguel, I don't know if you're here or not. Maybe you're kind of popping in and out. Are you here? Are you watching? Are you still on? um, I'm gonna kind of combine a little bit of the two of you and Amy together, but it's going to be separate readings. But Miguel, it's really interesting, because when I'm tuning into your energy, the first thing I actually see is it's really weird. It's like a green pasture right now, and I'm really seeing this green pasture. I'm not exactly sure what that particularly is about, but I'm literally showing you standing in the middle of just a lot of, like, this green. I hear that. Is that from your house?
Yeah, sorry. Yes,
um
it's apartment life.
Apartment life, yeah.
I'll mute
uh,
it while they're losing their minds here.
um so, but I'm really, it's almost like a serene type of energy, and it almost feels, to some degree, now I don't know if this is exactly the energy you're in or heading into, okay, because it may be that you're heading into this energy. But what I'm really getting here is this feeling of serenity that's really washing over you, or it's about to wash over you. um I keep it, and we've been saying this for the last little while. It really feels as though it's this energy of, like, being at home, and being in your place, being in your. It's interesting, because I'm really being shown the 10 of Pentacles, which is that place of that absolute security, Okay, it's that place of security. Yeah, you're going to have, there's always going to be, little things that pop up in our lives. But in general, you're in this place of security, or you're about to be. It's like you're heading into that. And with that that green pasture that I'm seeing, it really feels like that's what it's representing, is just this place of serenity, home, security. I'm not seeing any um, like literally this pasture is pretty empty. And for me, what that is telling me is that I'm not seeing anything major coming up. I'm not seeing anything massive for you to be worried about, or in this place of feeling out of sorts. But it's also interesting too, because as I'm looking at this pasture, I start to see other things being formed in there. And it's like, and I always tell you guys this, you and Amy both, please don't laugh at this, because I get the weirdest images with you guys sometimes. I'm seeing like a maypole, like, those, back in the day, they would have the maypole and the strings, and people would dance around the maypole. Like, that's what I'm being shown. And again, that's like a celebration. And for me, that's exactly what I'm being shown. It's like you with the kids, Namie, like you are in a place of home. Now, it's interesting because Namie's going into Namie's question, which was, do you see us moving soon? I'll be honest with you, Namie, I actually felt that you had moved or are settled. So what I'm getting from that is I do feel this move happening very quickly. I'm not exactly sure what the hold up is, or anything like that, but it just feels again like you guys are supposed to be in the place that you're supposed to be. It's like you guys have settled, or you're about to be settled. So I feel that very strongly within your elements. So maybe you haven't actually, yeah, like she said, that means super soon. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be super soon. Like you're already supposed to be there. That's the energy that kept coming through. So, and I'm just going to kind of move into Namies at the same time. I hope that's okay. I'm kind of combining the two of them, because both of your energies are just so interconnected at this moment that it's interesting, because as I see this maypole in this pasture, I actually see Namie kind of looking up at you, Miguel, in this place of, again, that firm foundation, knowing that she can depend on you, knowing that there is just this ultimate feeling and love and connection and bond between the two of you. This feels very, very strong, and it feels very, very deeply rooted and connected and all of that. Namie, I love the fact that you changed your name on here to Mimi's Holistics, because I really feel like this is going to be truly growing. Like this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So I don't know all of what it is that you have connected with this here, but I just feel like you guys are on that path. You're on that path to where exactly it is that you're supposed to be, and where exactly it is that you're supposed to be going. And just waiting on inspection and septic. Okay. So it just, because it feels like you guys are there. That's all I can say. It really feels like you guys are there. I'm gonna hand this over to Brandon, and as he's talking, I'm gonna see if I'm tuning into anything else.
So I'll go with you, Miguel, first. Kathy is definitely right on here, because all I keep seeing is just a lot of positive energy. Spirit shows me that there is this beautiful balance that's happening and taking place in your energy, and they're showing me that this is becoming anchored down. They're showing me a lot of sort of celestial vibes. Like I keep getting pulled to the light bodies of our solar system here, the sun, the moon, the things that give off light. And they're showing me that there's this beautiful relationship with the two, and that this is getting anchored into soul, into spirit, getting grounded into physical. So this just immediately shows me a great sense of balance that is happening internally. But what I'm also being pulled to And I think this does apply to both Miguel and Zanimi here. What Spirit keeps showing me is that there is a really important lesson that's being learned and served for the house specifically and whatever's happening with it. So it's interesting how they come out a little bit different. The energies differ a little bit when I see it through Miguel and when I see it through you, Nami. Miguel, when I'm looking through your energy and what Spirit is communicating is this very clear, intuitive pools, intuitive information, notions, etc., that are either getting sent to you, or it's as if they're representing the fact that you need to be using intuition at this time in order for that progress to happen. And so I looked at that message. I'm like, okay, that I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess I can understand that. But when I'm looking into you, Nami, what I keep seeing is that there's absolute harmony here, but there is something that is causing a disruption in the harmony, and they're specifically pulling me to heart and heart chakra. And they're showing me that once this is fully taken care of, once all of those little tiny roots and shreds of this friction have been pulled out of that heart space, is when that harmony and balance really moves forward. And I feel like that is all pertaining to the house. Because like Kathy said, I also feel this, that it feels like things are already there, but now it's almost like, okay, this is kind of crazy. It's interesting. Almost like you've done such a good job at catering the energy to the house that now you have to pull your energy back up to that same space, if that makes sense. Like, okay, we've invested all of this. Now we've got to pull our energy up so that way everything can kind of flow smoothly. So it feels like it's just a really like a little bit of a checks and balances system, so that even your own energy is at that higher vibration that the home is, and the whole property, the land, etc. I keep being pulled to that heart chakra specifically when I'm connected with you, Nami. I don't know if you're hanging on to other people's feelings here. Actually, that actually feels exactly what it is, because as soon as I said that, I could hear as if somebody else's voice was within the mind, and I can feel it. It's almost like it's creating a different path through your chakra system that would not normally be there if it was left to your own devices here. And so it's as if somebody's different route is being adopted. So I'm not sure if somebody has been giving you like advice about what to do with the house or whatever it is. Like, I don't know if somebody's like, oh, well, this needs to happen and this needs to happen. And I can hear your inner voice saying, well, this is totally different. And this is a whole new house, a whole new energy. Like, I don't know if what you're saying can apply to my situation. What Spirit is showing me is just to really cleanse that space if there's any other people's ideas of what you should or shouldn't be doing, and follow that own route. It just feels really important that whatever is coming from heart chakra needs to be coming out of throat chakra in the right vibration that is kind of all resting on you. So my mother, okay, that likely feels it, because I did see an older woman, and I could hear her saying all these different things of like, this has to go this way and this has to be here and blah blah blah, and I can just hear you saying like, it's not your house, so how can you tell me what to do when you're not even doing it? It has nothing to do with that. We really should think of every transaction as some kind of investment into ourselves in the future, regardless of who taught us to buy what or how or when. We are taking it's an energy exchange when we buy anything, right? When we pay for something, we're exchanging an energy, which however much time it took you to earn that money, and you're giving it for something else. That is a total energy exchange. You're exchanging for something, matter or a service, idea, etc. And buying homes and things like that are definitely no different. So each of us has our own energy exchange happening. And as we know, all of our energy differs all the time. So I think stay grounded, both of you. This, I think, is coming for the both of you. Miguel, this is a test on your intuition. And Nami, this is a test on your own energy channels that is happening here. And I feel that once these are fully in balance, then you'll be good to go. I keep hearing something about look for the new moon. And that really makes a lot of sense as soon as I heard that, that you guys would totally be in sync with the phase of the moon and going to this house. Moon really is a Cancerian planet, and it really talks about being at home and, that sort of sacred space, that protection. Cancer, lunar, those are all very home related signs and planets here. And so I think following the phase of the moon is going to be very, very beneficial for the both of you. But I would not be surprised to hear you come back and say, oh my God, we literally moved on the new moon, or like right, the day before or after. I would not be surprised at all. So kind of look to that, I think, to be a good guiding light, pun intended. And that's what came through for Miguel too. Come on, this stuff is so connected. This is great. This is great.
I feel like, to kind of help with the energy of the weight, do what you can as far as getting, for your new business here, or working on that, get your price list going, maybe get, a website going, even if it's not a real website. Like, I don't, what I mean by not a real website, I mean, there's so many free websites that you can just even get it started with, at very low investment, that sort of thing. I really feel like, this will help take away some of the time for the waiting that you're doing at this moment. Just sort of really concentrate on that, really concentrate on, and again, remember how I said, make the house yours. Make the house yours, right? And so start really planning. It's those little things that are going to make such a big difference once you actually move. It's interesting because I really hear this energy coming from your mom. And it's a real jealous energy. It's a jealous energy that, is sort of being thrown at you in some way. And, this is not your responsibility. It's not your, anything that you have to absorb in any way. I really do feel like she's seeing you guys start your lives, you're deeply in love. And there is this element of jealous that's coming through, and most parents should be truly happy for their children when they're in that place. But unfortunately, she's looking at all of her own disappointments, and it's, and it's playing on her own psyche. And this has nothing to do with you. So try not to let her energy interfere. Just go about, even if it's a matter of, again, getting a notebook, writing down, prices, exactly things that you want to start, advertising or putting out for your site. And that Brandon and I are always backing you and supporting you. We will advertise for you as much as we possibly can. We'll help out. We always try to be there for people and get them, started, and where it is that they're supposed to go. And so, that's basically what, break those chains and never, yeah. That's exactly it, right? We want to be better. We want our kids to be better. We want, that's the whole purpose of everything. So I truly hope that this is, helped in some way. And again, it's her issue. It's not yours. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, funny, because my sister and Miguel and friends have always felt that she's envious of you. And absolutely she is. She's 100%. And, that, again, it has nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? It's her own feelings that are putting her in that energy. I look at my daughters and, I'm so proud of where they are. And, people should, as parents, we should be happy that our children are, doing well, or are in, excellent relationships, or in a place of happiness. That's exactly our goal as a parent, so yeah, much love to both of you. Oh, she's happy crying. Oh, you're so welcome, honey. You're so welcome. So very, very much. Yeah. So, hey Cliff, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. It's good to see you. So I believe that we have Will is next.
Yes. Okay. Will is up next.
And guys, if you do happen to see people popping up, I just want to give that warning that we like to give every week. If you guys happen to see people saying, hey, private message me for your reading, know that these are, scammers, and we don't tolerate that. Neither Brandon or I will ever, ever, ever message you for a reading. We will never, ever do
Nope.
that. Okay.
Nope.
So
Nope.
you know that anybody doing that, anybody coming to you or saying, message me or DM me or whatever, you know that they are fake, and you know that they are a scammer of some sort, because a real reader will never solicit clients in that manner, ever,
Yeah, you
ever.
can't do that. I think a lot of people have curiosity about that because I can hear in my mind, well, what if, we've been talking for a while and you have like a message for me? See, there's a little bit different there. It's a little bit different there. Say Kathy and I, we have both regular clients that we've spoken with for years, and they could absolutely, just randomly pop up in our minds. And I know I'll speak for myself here. If there was something that felt really, really pressing and important, then I would be like, hey, I'm just checking in. Are you doing okay? Is everything going on? Whatever.
Right.
But I'm never gonna sit here and solicit information if you're not ready to receive it. Because even if we can feel like you are, maybe something just happened in that brief moment, and you're driving and you get this message of like, hey, I need you to be careful today. Oh, okay. That's no, no, no. You just can't do that. It's not ethical. It's not
Yeah.
morally responsible. So yeah, you're not gonna see Kathy and I do that. But as psychic friends, that's a little bit different, like I can tap into Kathy and be like, hey, what's up, Buttercup? I feel like you need a cheer up or a pull down
Yeah.
or something. Who knows? But yeah, the people who are genuine, they're not going to come searching for you. It should be the other way around.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it creates
So for
balance.
Will is wondering, we have Jamie, who is a Taurus, or Chantel, who is a Virgo. Are either of these the new friends that we had mentioned? Or, so I don't know what it is. I keep really getting drawn to the name, to the Chantel, for some reason. So I don't know if this is somebody that you kind of have an interest in as well, Will. Maybe you can kind of confirm that for me, because I really got drawn into that name, and I'm not exactly sure what that's about. I kind of feel now Chantel is the co-worker, and who is Jamie exactly? Sorry, I'm just trying to sort out the energies. Chantel has a boyfriend, okay, and Jamie, I don't know, it just feels like there's a little bit more of kind of a friend energy with Jamie, in some way. But it's interesting because Jamie is a coworker as well. Okay. I, I kind of feel like, I don't know how to explain this. The best way to put it out there, Jamie feels like a more stable energy in some way. Oh, you asked her out. Okay. And did she say yes? Because it just feels like there's a stable energy with this person. I almost feel like a friend, but um uh it's a more grounded energy.
Oh
Uh
yeah,
for right? Like that's, you get that
100%.
too. It feels like
Totally.
a ground, like it just feels like somebody that would be there for you, that would be more of a bond. Did she agree to go out? Like, if you asked her, she didn't say yes or no.
That's
Okay.
funny. See, I felt things were like totally in the clouds right now, and I can feel, even though like her energy absolutely feels stable, it feels like I can see her in the clouds and like weighing all these different thoughts, ideas, these feelings, and I do feel a little bit of an ambiguous energy. So it's good that she didn't respond yet, is to be entirely honest. I think it's good that she didn't respond.
Hmm. Um, okay, so with this more stable energy, okay, what I get from her is that she's going to weigh out her options on this, and it doesn't mean that you're an option. I feel like she is in this place of how do I explain it? She doesn't want anything to move too fast. I feel there's more of a friend bond, and it doesn't mean that that can't turn into something, but I feel as though she doesn't want anything to move too fast. She may have past issues of something that are, she's still dealing with. But what I'm getting here is that she kind of wants to really get to know. I feel like her next relationship, she wants to get to know. She wants to get to know you. Maybe she wants more of a friend to start off with first. Doesn't mean that you're going to get friend zoned. So that's a big difference. I don't feel a friend zone. I just feel like she's got this place where she's kind of she doesn't want to move anything too quickly. She doesn't want to get hurt. She doesn't want anyone else to get hurt. She doesn't want to screw up her job. She doesn't want to, like, there's a lot of things in her bubble is what I get. And so I feel like you could have a lot of fun with her, but I feel like she's a very genuine person is what I keep getting. Like she's genuine in her personality. She's genuine in her openness. So what I get with this is like to have genuine and authentic fun with her. Build that friend bond with her, because she has some things that she still has to clear out first is what I'm getting. And I feel like she is genuine in the way that she wouldn't want to involve somebody else in those issues, but I'm also getting here that she doesn't want complicated. I'm not exactly sure if that makes any sense. I'm just reading. Oh, okay. So she has a past issue with an ex. Well, there you go. Okay. And he's asking you, Brandon, guess what song he think when I think of her.
Oh God, what song? Is it one that I've been singing, that levitating song? That might be the only one that I can guess because I talked about it so much. Although I'm stuck on a whole new series of songs now. I just got Adele's album and I am listening to all that, and now I'm obsessed. So I have a new obsession.
Now, as far as Chantal goes, I think she's a nice person, all of that stuff. But I do feel there's more of an energy there where I wouldn't wrap your head around her too much, to be honest. I'd be a little bit more cautious, with that energy. I feel she's a nice person. Old Coldplay, Yellow.
It's a good one. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, and I do. I feel she's a nice person. I feel like there's good friendship there, but I do feel that she's a little bit more flighty, I guess, or something along that line. Like I feel like there's a more solid bond or a more solid opportunity there with Jamie. But I really feel like Jamie wants solid. Like she's not looking for temporary type of energy. But she really wants to get to know somebody before she does a leap. So this could take a while, but be all very authentic when you're speaking with her. Be very, just be you, Will. That's all you need to do. You don't need to impress her. You don't need to, be somebody else. You don't need to do anything. That's exactly how I feel. Like, just be you, because she already likes you, but she doesn't want to involve a lot of issues here. You know what I mean? So I'll let Brandon answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet here because it seems pretty straight across what I'm picking up. Very similar to what Kathy is picking up. I'll say Chantel first. The very first thing that I see with her is an energy of things being social, being on a surface level, and then all of a sudden I feel a distance and a sort of disappearing thing. So it just seems like one of those friends who's around for a season, which is okay. I think she'll serve her purpose. It'll be pleasant enough. It's not going to be negative or, I don't feel anything bad spiraling from that. It's just there she is and there she goes. No big deal. But with Jamie does seem to be around for a while. The immediate thing that I feel like I was telling you before is that it does seem like she's a bit clouded in her mind and unsure what to do. But I will say that the one thing I'm picking up on with her and what she's sort of aiming towards, feeling and wanting to experience is significance. She wants purposeful connection. She wants meaningful connection. She doesn't want just something that's resting on the surface level. She doesn't want something where friendships or otherwise, where they're going to connect and then they're just going to disappear. She does want to see that staying power. She does want to see something that is honorable and respectful and reliable, somebody who exhibits true loyalty. So I absolutely feel like you're going to feel often as you just keep hanging out. Again, just keep it friends right now. I think you're both going to be feeling like, oh my God, like it looks like, and probably looks like to everybody else, like we're in some relationship. And it's going to feel that way a lot and often. Like you're going to be doing things that normally look like a relationship. And I honestly feel like as you're just enjoying each other's presence, enjoying each other's space, and then it just happens organically. It's like all of a sudden you're like, well, I guess we've kind of been in this for a while. I guess let's just,
Yeah.
flow with it. It'll come up. And when I ask Spirit about what's to come between the two of you, they just keep showing me literally ever growing harmony. The two of you being on the same page, the two of you experiencing harmony and alignment in this connection. She is, yes, definitely has some, I wouldn't say jaded, but, is impacted by her past. And that's why I feel she's in that space of like, I'm not sure what to do, but I know that I want something meaningful. I know I want it purposeful. And there really is a sort of spiritual focus towards her of like wanting something that isn't just on that surface level or physical. It is a full energy, full consciousness and body experience that she's looking to get into. So just be yourself, Will. You're a fun person. I saw your little dance video. That's so great. You got moves just like me. um, just be yourself. There's no way that she won't have fun and just feel that infectious energy of being around you and wanting to enjoy it. And you both are just going to enjoy times and things will just go
Mhm.
organically. And how perfect for two Tauruses. We are so slow, steady, and boring that we will take, forever just for things to come into full development here. And it just makes perfect sense for it to develop that way between the two of you. So just enjoy that ride. No pressure. Don't put any pressure on anything, none whatsoever, because it will literally just blossom as it flows.
The one thing I really like about Jamie's energy is that she is solid and she will be there and she's going to be like a good supporter. Like in regards to your, things that you want to do or things that you're, looking for. Like if you want, like basically she's somebody that you can go to. She's somebody that's going to be solid. If there's anything troubling you, she'll be there to help out. Like I really like, not as relying on, like not a person to just, throw everything at. But what I'm getting here is she's very solid. Like I really like her energy. And I really like the fact that she has her own stuff together. It feels like she really has her own shit together. And I guess that's the best way to say it. And that's really what she's looking for within her. Like she's one of those people that, she'll support your endeavors. But she's going to be straight up and honest with you as well. And that's what I really get from her. So just take it slow. There's no rush on this. She's got to sort out some things from, her own past, I guess is the best way to say it. But she will do that. She will do that. And you'll see that this bond grows between the two of you.
Absolutely.
But just take your time with it. There's no rush. There's no rush with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't rush this.
All right.
Let it stay at slow, steady pace.
So let's go to Kalal. Mostly general, but if anything about ME comes up, I prefer that. Yeah, I like that, Will. Yeah, her own shit together. That's exactly it. Like she's got, like she's good.
What was Emmy's zodiac, Kalel, if you don't mind? In case we do connect with her. I don't remember, to be honest.
I don't
It's been
remember
over
either.
a week since we've been on a show last, right?
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. So, yes, you can wait a little bit longer. That's exactly because it'll be a bond. It'll be more of a bond than just, this is a person that will be there for you, whether it's a friendship or whether it's a relationship. Like as long as you're solid, she's going to be she's always going to be solid. But when you're solid, it's going to really help that bond and move it forward. Okay, so her name is Michelle. Just give me a second to kind of tap in here. Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit of distance between you and Michelle. Have you guys is there been a little bit of distance between the two of you? I don't know if this is emotional or if this has been, in communication, or it could be literally distance. It just feels a little bit of a pulling back of in some way within the energy. I don't feel an ending of the energy. It just feels a little bit pulled back. Has there been some sort of, I don't know if it's not particularly a disagreement, but it feels like somebody needs to do some thinking, or something is going on, maybe perhaps, with Michelle herself, like where she's taken a step back, or she just needs a little bit of time, something along that line. Does that make sense to you? Because it's just a little bit of pulling back of that energy is what I'm getting here.
I'm also picking up on that pullback as well. I can feel the reserve holding back, suppression a little bit. But Khalil, I'm being pulled to your energy. Are you kind of distant in your own self right now?
I
Because
literally was going to say that. Like, it feels almost like a disappointment within himself in some way, or pulling back, or trying to figure something out within his energy.
it does. It feels like I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're like overthinking, overanalyzing things, really taking things either deeply personal, but like spirit just keeps showing me that your path has been affected by a subsequent distance. And I don't know if it was Michelle that triggered all of this, or what's going on with you and Michelle that triggered all of this, but they're just showing me that you're in this space of not being fully sure of self. They're showing me like not resting on something solid, and it's leaving you to feel like you're literally questioning yourself. Maybe I feel disappointed. Okay, that very well could be it, because that's the first thing I feel coming across your energy here.
Okay. So what I'm getting with a lot of this, here's the thing with you, Kalal, is that you have an amazing high exuberance of energy. You really do. And you have a really good optimism. Like, your optimism is very, like, you're positive. You're a positive person. Okay. The one thing I'm feeling sometimes within you, though, is when you feel this positive energy, you kind of put blinders on a little bit towards other things. It's kind of like, what's the best way to explain it? Okay. So what I'm being told here is that you have a lot of inner intuition. Okay. It's like you have a lot of inner intuition. So you really feel what things can be. Okay. It's like you can feel what can happen within a relationship, or what can happen with that person. You see the positive traits and personality and all of the things that they contain. So what happens, though, is sometimes, because of your optimism, like this positive energy that you can generate, um there's a little bit of a pushing energy that comes from you, okay? Because you see where it can go, but sometimes, like I feel with Michelle, is that she might be in this place of not 100% sure yet. I don't feel like she doesn't like you or that anything like that, because I actually feel she really does like you. She really has this caring with you, but it's almost, I kind of feel like you're a little bit ahead of her in regards to the energy. It's like you're a few steps ahead and she might be a little bit behind. And so because you feel, you can see where it's going, there's a little bit of pushing towards it. I hope that that makes sense. So what I feel here is that there just needs to be a little bit of balance coming in here. A little bit of slowing down your energy so that she can catch up to you, I guess is the best way to say it. Don't feel disappointed in yourself. I know it's hard because we can all feel like that at times. But what I'm really getting here is you truly have a beautiful, beautiful energy about you. You have, like I said, the positivity, the optimism. You really have an ability to see an end result at times. But what I'm getting here is to allow yourself to just stay within the moment, okay? Stay within what is happening rather than where you want it to be. Now, here's the difference. When we manifest, we want to stay in the end. Okay? We do want to stay in the end in our head. So this is where people get a lot of contradicting or where it can be contradicting and confusing because in our head, in our energy and in our emotions, we want to be at the end result, okay, where it is that we want to be. So let's say you're manifesting a relationship, you want to be in the end result of that relationship. However, we still have to stay within the present moment of truly what it to some degree is happening, okay? Basically meaning that we don't want to push somebody ahead of where they're not quite ready to be yet. Within our energy. Now in your head, you can kind of sit there and go, this is the end result of what I want. But we also have to, make sure that we're not pushing their energy to go there because it will happen on its own. I feel very strongly that Michelle does like you. She does care. She does see an opportunity with this relationship for it to move ahead. However, I do feel that she's sort of in this place. I don't know if career is important to her, or something along that line. Like again, it feels like career or something is important to her, which I feel like she might be trying to figure out or trying to get resolved first before she jumps into like this lifelong relationship sort of thing. But it's almost like you're seeing wedding, kids, all of that, and she's not quite there yet. So give her some time because I still feel like this is going to happen. And again, don't be disappointed with yourself. Be happy with yourself in the fact that you have all of these absolutely amazing qualities. You truly do. It's just a matter of trying to stay in the present rather than to push the energy too far into the future. I hope that that makes sense.
When I'm connected with you, Kalo, like I said, I felt that kind of immediate distance. I felt that unsureness about the self, as if you're questioning certain steps. The one thing that I'm being shown right now, so when I'm looking at your energy, there's very much that sort of magician kind of vibe where it's like an outward projection of energy. There is an ability to be able to manifest. But what Spirit keeps showing me is that right now, you need to be tapping into more of the high priestess energy, the sort of feminine counterpart to this concept of manifestation. They keep showing me that even with both you and Michelle, there should be a sort of role reversal at this time. And they're showing me that your reception has to be just as tuned in as your projection and manifestation. So they're showing me to really get in touch with those sort of gates. And so really to get in touch with that high priestess, this is really about accessing the realm of the unknown, the realm of the unconscious and subconscious. Um, it seems important for you to be able to sit in this space instead of taking direct action. And spirit is literally showing me a vision. So let me see if I can convey this feeling to you, because they're showing me in this vision, which is so funny. So I love music. I don't think that's a secret here. And so what I've done is for like really dancey kind of songs, I'll sit there and they'll have really beautiful lyrics there towards like a love, right? But the object of love, I put God or spirit or universe as the object of love. So it's like, be with me, I love you, open me up, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm talking to God or to the universe in that way. But what's the most difficult thing is sitting there and I'm hearing the beat and I'm feeling the music and I love that song, but to force myself to sit still while I can feel these compulsions to act and move and dance and vibe and make a beat, that's what I have to resist against when I'm in that meditative state. And so this is kind of the energy that I feel spirit is conveying to you, is that sometimes you may feel all these compulsions to take action, but you need to sit in reception. And that's what they're showing me needs to happen at this time, because I do feel with Michelle, things are kind of being held back a little bit, but that's because she's not taking the actions. She's fully in the reception. And for you, Kalal, your connection has to be balanced in harmony. It has to have masculine and feminine, and it doesn't even need to be one person or the other. The spirit shows me it's a perfect sense of balance, because you do already have that in yourself. And so for that relationship to be successful, that person also has to be balanced in themselves. But right now, they're pulling me more towards you connecting to that stillness, connecting with high priestess energy, access those gates of the unknown, that, behind the conscious mind realm. Because what you're going to see is that I think your brain is taking too literal certain actions or lack thereof that are happening or again, not happening. And so now internalizing this dialogue as if it's my fault, I did this, I put this up,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
happened, blah, blah. That's not what's happening. The brain is just convincing you that you didn't do enough. But the reality is, sometimes by not doing something, we are doing a whole lot. I mean, speak to anybody who has very vivid dreams or lucid dreams. They will wake up feeling like they literally put in like a whole night's worth of work, and they just did like a whole bunch of things. And who's to say that they actually didn't? The things that we run in our brain fire the same when we're physically actually doing them also in the brain. So that's arguable. But the point being is, right now, it's definitely time to tap into that reception, kind of hold back the compulsions to jump into fiery action and sit within the water of that self. That's going to be really, really key for you right now. As far as what I feel coming up with you and Michelle, Spirit is showing me that things are going from an ambiguous, undefined, sort of limbo-like place into a place of transformation. I have a feeling that it has to do with exactly what Spirit is showing you. You taking that reception and her taking that action. Little role reversal. And then you kind of meet in the middle, and then you share both of those roles. It does feel like balance is trying to make its way known. So you have to activate that by stepping into your step first, which tap into that high priestess. I don't know, maybe Kathy can describe that energy better, because I'm not well versed in tarot, but that's exactly what they're showing me here, that same vibe.
100%. I do. I feel like I have to 100% agree with Brandon. It almost feels like a role reversal is
What do you have to
absolutely.
say about that what is the high priestess energy? What is all that? What is she about?
Well, the high priestess is listening to yourself, but it's also about things under the surface, right? Things coming to light.
Hmm. Hmm.
And, sometimes things are hidden that we aren't aware of at this point in time. And so things will come to, come to be known. Sometimes the high priestess can show up, um, in regards to feelings or perhaps actions but they're just not being shown at this point. But
Right.
it's
She has
also
such a
about listening to the
mystical
intuition. What's up?
she has such a mystical feeling to me of like navigating through a hallway that's completely dark. You have no idea what you're going to stumble into, or
Mhm.
how the hallway is going to go, and you find out by direct interaction, right? You're not going to figure out what's down the hallway unless you actually walk down there, because you can feel it out.
That's exactly it. Sometimes she can appear, in well, unfortunately, I'm gonna put it into a negative tone, but sometimes she can appear if, let's say, somebody hasn't, she can, okay, in a positive tone, she can appear if somebody hasn't revealed their feelings yet, or they haven't revealed all of the actions, right? Um, or she can appear, let's say, if somebody was to, if you got the high priestess with, like, let's say, the 3 of Swords or the 7 of Swords, not good energy, right? It's kind of that energy of things under the surface that haven't come to light yet, but not in a positive way. So that, could indicate, cheating or something along that line. But when she comes up, normally it's about listening to your intuition and being still, just like you had said, being still. It's really staying into that energy of just allowing things to happen the way that they're supposed to happen, as opposed to really pushing the energy. So, yeah, I hope that that's helped, Kala. And next is Andrea. And I think Andrea just wanted a general reading.
Yes, Pisces general love reading for Andrea.
Okay. Just give me a sec, Andrea. Let me just tap into your energy a little bit. Wow. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of confidence coming from you. I'm hearing the word standing your ground. I'm hearing, like, it's almost like you're it's interesting because sometimes again, I get the tarot cards that that will show up for people. I'm really getting you as like that Queen of Wands energy. So this is somebody fiery, standing their ground, not letting negative circumstances interfere with them. I'm getting a lot of power, like literally, like you with that that wand kind of right beside you, being in that place of power. And I feel like this is a personal power. So I don't know if you have in some way cut out any nonsense energy, like you're not accepting it. It literally is like you have a force field around you at this current moment. I want to say almost like a force field of, okay, this is what I'm being shown, Andrea. Don't laugh, because again, my images, this is how they come through. Here you are standing there. You have your wand. You're holding your ground. It's almost like that warrior type of woman, but not the warrior who is, fierce and ready to fight everybody. It's just confident and strong within yourself. Like you don't need to impress anybody. You're not trying to push any energy, whatever. You're just standing there kind of like this, literally like this big power. And there's this like force field around you, and you are only letting in the energy that is resonating, only the energy that is allowed to come close to you. It's not any of this. It's almost, but it's weird because I do feel energy coming at this dome or this shield that you have, but it's almost as though it comes in and it bounces right off, like it's not being allowed in. So it's trying to come in, but you are so strong within yourself right now that you're literally just like nothing is penetrating that force field. And I love this energy because what is meant for you will automatically be allowed into that force field and come through for you, is what I'm really getting here. It feels as though you're in this place where you no longer feel like you have to try, or you no longer feel like you have to force something, or try to initiate something, or try to be the chaser of any any sort of energy. What is meant for you will automatically just come right through that force field, because it will be allowed within it. It's like you don't have to do anything. Is what I feel like. You don't have to do anything. It is just coming through, because you now have this perfect balance within yourself. Now, whether or not you're currently 100% feeling this, like I might be saying this and you're like, I don't know. No, you already know. You already do know. So don't stop doubting yourself, because you already know that energy is there, and it's already around you and surrounding you. Okay, good. That's been my energy 100%, because it just feels like this is so strong. That's what I just keep feeling. It feels like I kind of want to put it into like a cartoon in some weird way. So, those cartoons, it's almost like, what was that skunk and that cat from Bugs Bunny? You remember?
Pepe
Where
Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew, like where that skunk is always chasing after the cat, right? And the cat's running away. There is this energy of that Pepe Le Pew kind of coming at the force field. But again, because you don't need to do anything, you don't have to run from it. It's literally just being repelled from you. And that perfect energy is just going to float in, as though it's meant to be there, as though it was always there, as though it was always a part of you. And that's truly what I keep getting shown. So stay within this energy, because who and what that is supposed to be around you is 100% coming in. That's what I keep getting.
Absolutely. That's coming through so clear, Andrea. Your energy is solid, very secure, really just in your own
I'll be right
element.
back.
And I'm looking at the energy just going on in your love life. What Spirit is showing me is that it's like you are this you are this mountain to climb, and it really denoting the fact that, like, okay, I know my worth, and you need to show me that you can get to the top, for me to be able to open up, to be able to invest, etc. Spirit keeps showing me this feeling of like, and it's just as Kathy was describing too, other energies like coming at you and like bouncing off. And there are people who want to, I feel people who are either not, I don't know if it's intentional, maybe some of them are intentional, but people who do want to drain you, like they're trying to drain you of your energy, pull energy from you, not only for themselves, but just to literally take away from you, because they're seeing like, oh God, why does she feel that way? I don't want her to feel that way. She should feel like how I am. And these people are just bouncing right off. It's like Spirit is saying, we're taking care of this. We got this, because she put her own self in the right space. So definitely well done. You have definitely shaped and sharpened your space, your energy into a good place, honestly. Now, when I ask Spirit about what is coming as far as love is concerned and interest, they keep showing me this really beautiful vision of these emotional seeds that you're sort of planting, that you're burying. And they're showing me that the seeds have been planted, and now they're being watered right now, and they're starting to grow. They're starting to take root. So you've literally cleansed and transformed your own energy. You have like retilled that dirt. You're planting new seeds, and these seeds are about to take. And I feel like this is going to manifest as a really good romantic connection soon. I would. I just feel Spirit just keeps showing me that it's coming soon. Like they literally show me that it's happening. The seeds implanted and the roots are about to take hold. And so those roots directly relate to you having a connection with somebody. But this is nothing, honestly, for you to worry about. All your focus needs to be on is just keeping your energy in that space. You're at that peak of the mountain. You are that mountain, and other people need to climb up on you and figure out how to get to your summit, to your peak. So this is a really, really good spot to be in, because Spirit shows me that now manifesting from here is going to be in direct alignment. It has healthy roots, has the right system. You've taken all the organisms that don't need to be there, all the pests out of that dirt, so to speak, right? So nobody else can come in and drain that energy. And now you're in a good spot to be able to share with somebody and not just have somebody rely on you and drain you for your resources, your energy, the love that you can offer. You're in a space where it will be equally reciprocated. And that feels, I don't know why, it feels huge. It feels monumental. It feels like a big deal. This feels like a very, very big deal in regards to your energy. So well done, love. Well done. You have rocked it out. I keep feeling a really magical holiday season for you as well. That keeps coming through strong. So maybe put yourself out there, because there's some really good connections. I just keep seeing this vision of like lights being around you. And I'm not sure where you are in the world, but it does have a little bit of a different temperature or weather energy in the environment. So I don't know, just be out if you can during this holiday season. It feels really important.
It does. Yeah. You know what? You're not being picky. A lot of people will say that to others, and the reason is because they settled. Very simple. They settled. A lot of times people will be settling, and it's not being picky to have what it is that is resonating with your soul.
It's
Plain and
honoring
simple.
yourself.
It's
You're
honoring
honoring
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Yay. I love success stories. I love them. This is totally a success story. Like, this is legit one.
yeah,
It's
you have a
great.
beautiful energy, Andrea. I truly, I love it when you come on the show. I really do. I love everybody that comes on the show. It's
I know, me
just
too.
yeah.
Even those people who were talking crap last week or last time we were.
Yes.
Because you don't really make it unless you have people talking shit about you on the internet.
Right. Yeah. Yes. This is so true. So we got Kalia next, and I
Kalia.
believe
Oh, and real quick,
um
love tea, my love. If you can hear this, please put your question in the chat, because you are up next. I'll send you a message in the
yes.
chat as well, in case you didn't see it, but you're after Kalia here.
So Kalia is asking more of a general life.
yes.
Everything seems to be happening at once. Perhaps touch on the previously mentioned Libra, with whom things have ended recently. What is Kalia's
Kalia's
sign?
Libra.
She's a Libra as well?
Uh-huh. And then Miguel is also Libra, yes.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. I kind of feel, I feel you can do better. Just to be blunt, in regards to Miguel, I feel like there's some feedback coming through. I feel like, you're more settled in your energy in some way. Why am I getting the feedback? Do you feel that? Do you hear that?
I kind of did for a second there. It should end soon. I don't know. It could be my voice talking too much.
It was just, it's my feedback. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, okay. I heard it for a sec, but it's gone.
Okay.
It's not obnoxious.
You're more settled in your energy than Miguel is. I really feel a flighty energy with Miguel for some reason, whether he's flighty in his personal life or not. But I get a real flighty energy with him. It's almost, I get a non-settled almost, I'm not going to call him a player because I don't think that that's a fair energy to call anybody, unless I actually knew him or whatever. But it almost feels as though he's not settled in his energy. Like he's not, I don't know. There's a slight energy with him that he seems to be always looking, and I don't know exactly what he's looking for. I don't know if it's particularly other people or anything, but it's almost as though he's not happy no matter where he is what I kind of get from his energy. I don't know exactly how to explain that, but it's like he's like one of those people that you could, dump a pile of money on and everything else, but he's still unhappy with. I don't know. He's always looking, or I don't know exactly. I don't like his energy very much. I'm just going to say that. It's not that I don't like him. It just seems like you're more solid within your energy. Okay, is what I get, Kalia. You know what it is that you want. You know what it is that you're driving for. And I keep hearing that word drive too. It's like you have a driving force behind you in some way. And what I get here is that I keep feeling paths opening up for you. And it almost feels as though you have a specific life path that you're trying to engage in, or that you're trying to bring forth in some way. I hope that makes sense. If you're there, maybe you can kind of just, put down into the comments if you're understanding what I'm saying here. But it feels as though you see where it is that you want to be, whether or not you have the full picture formed, but you have the general idea, like, that you want to be happy in the relationship. You want stability. You want, something solid. You want to be in a place of contentment and security. And, whether this is, I feel like this is all encompassing: financial, relationship. You don't want to be in a place of freaking wondering. And that's where Miguel is. He leaves you wondering all the fucking time. Excuse my language. like that's what I keep getting. It's like you just want consistency. You want solid. You want security. You want to know the next step. Like, you don't need to have your whole life spread out in front of you, but you want to know, hey, are we getting together? Are you going to call? What's happening? Are we going here next week? Like, what the hell is going on? And he's like, all over the frickin' place. And, so what I'm getting here is that I really feel with you is that now that you have kind of, I don't know whether you ended it or he ended it. Either way, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel that it was a good thing to end it, because there's better things coming, is what I keep getting. Now that you have released this frazzle energy of Miguel, let's just say, you now have this path that is solid. Yeah, or, at the very least, your energy is more solid. And it feels like that next step. What it is that you want. What it is that, where it is that you're wanting to be led to. And now that you have that, I feel like things are really starting to, it's kind of like literally that closed one door, you're flying open another door, but the other door that you're flying open is something that is solid and secure, and it's going to be there's no more of this, what the hell are we doing? Energy is what I keep getting. It feels as though that next step that's coming through is going to be of your choice, your design, your making, and it's going to be something solid, because you're again letting go of this. Okay. When I'm being shown this energy, it's like Miguel is like this. It's like a bunch of firecrackers all over the place, like as if you're watching fireworks, but they're like that. It's like there's nothing solid there. He's just this, like, that's a bad. I'm such a child.
Such
That's what
poetic and
it's so
beautiful
poetic.
analogies
Like I'm
from Kathy.
but that's really what I get from him. Whereas you are like this solid ball of energy. And you know what you want and you know what you can attract, but you're almost like this beautiful walking magnet that will draw in exactly now that you've let go of this. You're going to be able to draw in, and very poetic, she says. But you're going to be able to draw in exactly what it is that you want because you've released this chaos that was going on around you. I don't know exactly how long you guys were together for, but it really feels like it was needed to be let go of, because the consistency, the security that you want will be flying in for you. Is what you're going to be attracting it. You're going to be pulling it in to your energy. That's what I get. And that's what your guides keep showing me. So
Yeah, I'll second that here. The first thing I pick up
you
on.
can say it more poetically than
Let's hope I can.
Brandon's much better with words.
Let's hope I can. Oh goodness. So the energy between the two of you, Kalia, you and Miguel, definitely feels very ambiguous. I do still feel a little bit of an emotional tie happening here, and I do feel like it's at an energetic level. It does create this weird kind of vibe where there could be like shared psychic sensations happening, but I'm really feeling a lot of intense energy coming from Miguel. What I keep feeling is that I don't know. So I don't know if specifically, I think you said things ended or maybe you ended. Um, so I don't know who ended with who or how it even came about, but I'm really feeling like an anger in Miguel, and it feels like an anger of like, you stole my stability. How could you do something like that? And I feel Miguel being in this place of his own path, feeling disheveled, like everything was broken down. I'm feeling him being upset. And what Spirit is showing me is that he was latching onto you as a means for his own sense of personal security. And it was as if it was draining all of it from you, but yet I can feel you maybe even feeling a little bit guilty about the fact of like, hey, you can't do this or whatever it is. And then him trying to project all of this onto you as if you were maybe the bad one or you did him wrong, even if it was his own fault that he wasn't holding up his end of the bargain, his end of, the connection, not creating that balance. So when I'm looking at where he is with his thoughts towards what he wants in connection with you, Spirit is showing me that it's like he wants to try and like push his ego onto you, but also keep things at this surface level. It's a weird space that I feel him trying to hold, but it does feel like he's trying to project his own feelings about himself right back onto you. So I think you definitely made the right call. But Spirit is showing me that there is likely still communication coming up between the both of you, and that you could have the capacity to reestablish as friends. And that decision will definitely be up to you. And it will also be up to if Miguel is going to be able to overcome that ego here, stop living on the surface level and really allow, true, genuine depth into his space instead of just being, a bunch of firecrackers exploding on the surface. That doesn't do anybody any good. The other thing that I keep picking up on, Kalia, is Kathy had pulled pulled attention to it about you just literally walking down the street and attracting things. The Spirit keeps showing me that you have not fully tapped into your own intuition. You've not tapped into what you naturally have, which is an ability to attract. Like, I want you to do something super simple and try this exercise out. I want you to pick maybe a flower. I always like doing the yellow rose because it's not a typical color for a rose. And just literally think about it, focus on it, and feel as if you're holding it right now in front of you. And I want you to try and attract a yellow rose to your energy or something else, maybe, but keep it simple and something that may not always be that way, something a little bit a little bit different. So I'm trying to think of a different example. A 4-leaf clover instead of a 3-leaf clover, right? Like something that is out there and you know it exists, but it might not be something you typically see all the time. I really want you to test that out for yourself because I think you're gonna find that I have a yellow one tattooed on me. Oh my god, that's so
Yeah,
crazy.
that's so wild,
That is the
right?
second time that I have seen somebody's tattoo, and it being a flower. I didn't really actively know that this one was a tattoo, but that's just what I saw was that yellow rose in my mind. Um, but anyways, definitely try to manifest. I want you to test yourself because you really have amazing abilities. There is something about how you can pull stuff into your energy because of
Mhm.
where your consciousness sits in the realm of humans. You're in a very really nice pocket to be able to bring stuff from a higher source down to physical manifestation to earth to be seen. So there's something to be said about that. And trust me, now that this split with Miguel has happened, you're going to notice that things can go much quicker because he really was serving as an energy drain. It's not that he's a bad person or anything. Like he's not like an awful being. It's just the chemical compounds that you created in being together, they didn't create harmony. They didn't create a harmonious compound. They created, something combustible, and it served to be an energy drain. So, and I do think that he could be a supportive friend, but really he has a lot that he can learn from you if you have the patience to deal with him. So that's why I said that it's kind of on your decision if you want to keep up as a friendship. But your energy is in a much better, honestly, better place I feel now than it was being in connection with him because he's just going to be
Absolutely.
projecting a lot onto you and you just got to be careful of that because you don't want your power to be channeled through others or taken by others. You don't need that. So work on your abilities now is the main
It's a
message.
manifestation ability that Brandon's talking about, right? And it's what I picked up with that, like I said, that magnetic ability.
Mhm.
So you'll be able to draw in exactly what it is that you want now that your energy is detached from, again, that chaos combustible fire energy, firecracker, or fireworks type of energy. It just, maybe fireworks is the wrong word because that can be kind of, I mean, it can be exciting to be with somebody like that, but you really want the consistency, you want the
Have you ever
security,
seen that?
you know?
You know what I'm envisioning when you've said that? Have you ever seen that video where it was like a firework factory exploded or fireworks exploded on the ground where they were not supposed to? Like that's what
Right,
I was
yeah.
seeing when you said
It
that.
but, and you gotta jump around that, right? You gotta run away
Yeah,
from that, like, because you got this explosions going on all
right
over
in
the
your
place. So all
face,
you're
and it should
really
be
doing is
happening
running
up
around
there.
trying to, yeah. And
Mhm.
that's what I get with Miguel. It's like he's not solid, and as Brendan said, there could be a friendship there or whatever. But I really feel like your energy is so much more evolved than his. And now that it's been let go of to some degree, or that it's had that um separation, you're going to be able to really draw in what it is that is meant for you, or really what it is that you want to have drawn into you, is what I get. So I hope that helps
Yeah,
and
you
gave you
definitely
some
need
clarity. Yeah.
I could see you with a grounded person, Kalia, somebody with some earth in their chart in some way. Um, I really could see that vibing well. Maybe even water too. I think fire would be too combustible with you, but definitely some good earth. Somebody who's got sun, moon, rising, something that is has an earth in there. I think it would be very supportive for you.
Kalia, either holding a yellow rose or just imagining one showing up in your hemisphere in some way, like around your area. Maybe you're
Yeah,
walking down the street and you see one, or maybe, you happen to see one in a store, or maybe you'll see one on a billboard or a license plate. Or, here's the thing, maybe just showing up on the internet when you're scrolling, all of a sudden, boom, there's, it's just about it coming into your environment in some way.
Yes. So when I say picture yourself, all I'm saying is, you need to give the affirmation, I am going to see a yellow rose. Yellow rose is coming in my life. Like,
Right.
really set the intention is what you're trying to do. So some people envision themselves seeing it or holding it or seeing it somewhere around them. Some people can smell it. These are all your clair senses, clairaudience, clairgustance, clairvoyance, etc. So literally just envision yourself manifesting and pulling a yellow rose. You're like, I want to see a yellow rose. Thank you, God, spirit, source, universe, whatever you open up to, pray to.
So I'll tell
And
you.
then come back and tell us when you do see it, because we want to know. So take a picture or take notes and share that with us, because those are always exciting affirmations. That
One
stuff
time
really
I
works.
was trying to manifest something, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll use something that is not going to be in my immediate environment. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, I want to see a red car, because there's like 800 million freaking red cars. So that's not
Right.
really manifesting anything. So I said, I want to see a trout. I'm in the middle of a landlocked province, so it's not like I'm going to see a trout, flopping around on the
Mhm.
ground outside, right? And it was sort of like the confirmation for something, and I just used the word trout because I don't know, whatever. Anyway, a few hours later, I went and started playing a video game because it sometimes for me, it's taking your mind off of the problem and going on to something else. So I had worked all day. I was chilling out. I didn't really want to watch TV. So I turned on like Zelda. I was playing Zelda. And my character within about 10 minutes caught a trout, which is the only trout in the game. Like, it's just not a common fish. Right? And it took me a second to realize, and I was like, oh, well, there you go. Okay, well, there was like my confirmation. I don't know how to, but it can come in different ways, right? So, and sometimes it just comes unexpectedly. You could be scrolling and all of a sudden you'll see this big yellow rose, and it doesn't need to be a yellow rose. It can be whatever it is that you want to manifest.
Yeah, whatever it is. That was
Just
just
don't
an
make it a
example.
common day item. Okay.
Mhm.
Because common, one time
Yeah,
I
don't
wanted,
manifest a car tire. We see those
right.
everywhere.
One time I wanted to see a rabbit. That was another, that's sort of a confirmation for me too. And it was funny because my neighbor's kid came over and we were sitting on the front porch and we were just chatting. It was a hot summer day. And I had said to myself, I want to manifest this rabbit. I don't know why, but I wanted to manifest seeing a rabbit. And all of a sudden the kid, he was like, his eyes got all big and he's like, shh. He goes, look
Aw.
beside you. And there was this freaking jackrabbit on its hind legs, like 2 feet away from me, just sitting up looking at me like this. And I was like, holy shit. So,
That was great.
yeah, it was, so, it's just the power of being able to manifest. But once you start to manifest the little things, the big things start coming easier. So you'll see what
Mhm.
happens. So Lovity is next, and I'm not sure what Lovity's question
I've
was.
got Love Tea right here. Love Tea, may I know where Ricky's head is at in regards to me? We met up yesterday, but I feel like communication is not in depth, kind of exhausting. Love Tea is Aries and Ricky Capricorn.
Is this somebody that you just met, Love T?
I don't know. I think this is R. Remember, we knew them as R before. Isn't that right?
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm Aries, he's a Capricorn. Let me just okay. Where is Ricky's head? There's something going on with him. That, it's interesting. That's the first thing I feel. I don't know exactly what the heck this is. Is this is Lefty in school? Is this the one?
I believe so. I
Okay.
believe that's where they know each other.
like in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Love T, if this has anything to do with you. I don't feel it does. I feel like a sadness coming from him
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, like almost a depression, sadness, a lost energy that's coming from Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel that this is directed towards you in any way. I don't feel that this has to do with you. I'm almost wondering if he's behind in classes or if he's got some sort of personal issues that is going on. This even could be like a seasonal depression of some sort. I don't want to diagnose him or anything like that, but he feels really sad on the inside for some reason. Like I just feel a deep sadness of some sort. So I don't know if he's mentioned anything to you about it or if it's come up in any way, but it just feels like, I don't know if it's particularly a disappointment with him, but there's something that's going on. So as far as his energy towards you goes, I actually feel that this is, weirdly enough, even though you might not be feeling it, or maybe that's not what you felt yesterday. I feel okay. So you did ask him if something was wrong. Yeah. I feel like with you, I feel a strong bond. Like I feel like a very connected energy. Like I feel like he wanted to really be with you. He wanted to spend time with you. He wanted to be there. But there's something in the back of his mind here that is going on that is not feeling strong within himself. Maybe he's not one of those people that that does like to open up, but I feel like there's something going on with him inside. Like I said, it could be possibly a depression. Maybe he's just got something on his mind, like something financial or whatever. I don't feel that it's connected to you, though. I do feel that he wants to have that connection, that he's trying. There is a little bit of fear within him because I feel like he knows how that he somehow screwed up before. So I feel like he wants to not have that happen again. Like he really wants to have some sort of connection, bond, long term, like a deeper connection with you. I really do feel that he wants this, but there's something going on with him directly that I'm feeling a blockage within. He might not just be one of those people that open up. Some people, they just they don't even know exactly where it is, that is what it is that's bothering them, and so they don't know how to express it. And but what I'm getting here is I do feel that he does want to come closer. I do feel that. I do feel a deeper connection happening. I do feel that he does want to come in some way. I do feel that he wants to continue this relationship or continue this connection. But I do feel something's going on with him. I'm gonna just give me a second to look into it, but I'm gonna let you, Brandon, take a look at it first for a second.
Okay. So, love to definitely the energy between the two of you. The very first thing that I'm shown is that it is kind of resting on him, his shoulders. And they are showing me this sort of deadened sense of communication is really what's picking up on both of your energy here. And I'm gonna have to agree with Kathy. There is something that is going on that is just pulling him down. So when I'm looking at his thoughts and feelings towards you, I do feel that emotional connection still. I do feel this feeling of like, okay, I know I'm rooted, I'm anchored in, into the bond, etc. But I do feel that sense of detachment, even with his own emotions towards you. It's like he's taking out all emotions, period. And so when I'm looking at his intentions, Spirit is showing me that he is trying to keep things on this surface level. He feels like I need to keep things on the surface level for right now, um, until they're ready to like unlock, until they're ready to open up, which seems like some kind of circumstance that is outside of even his control. So it's like he's kind of waiting for something, holding it, etc. Previous 2-week conversation like this, I asked him, do you miss me? He said he does, but he doesn't want to confuse me because he knows I want a relationship. Okay. It does feel like this seriousness. It does feel like this weird contradiction in himself and in his energy. It very much feels like I'm trying to keep things on the surface level, but I also know that I have these emotions and these connections pulled towards you. Now, when I'm asking about what's to come between the both of you, they are showing me that there's going to be frustrations on this friction. It kind of puts the two of you in this area of limbo, being totally unsure what to do, what's going to happen, etc. I am trying to tap into why he's being pulled so far down, and I'm trying to make sense of it. And let me see if I can put this coherently. So when I ask Spirit about what has him weighed down so much, immediately they're pulling me to his heart, and they are showing me positivity and brightness in the heart and feelings of genuine like love. And honestly, so I'm asking, okay, well, where is all this coming from? And they're showing me female friends. And I really do feel that this is your energy in this connection. Honestly, Love T, I really feel like Ricky has got this crazy weight on himself because of the feelings that he is feeling for you. And I feel him being upset and ashamed about the feelings because it forces him to be vulnerable, and when he's vulnerable, he cannot be in control, and when he's not in control, he cannot stand that. He absolutely cannot stand that. And so I feel like he's overcorrecting, overcompensating for I can't let all these feelings out and I can't let all these feelings be known because if I do, then I'm not going to be in control of myself. I won't be in control of the relationship and the environment. It feels like a past program is what has taken control here, in the connection between you two and the connection with his own emotions. So there's honestly not much that you can do to get him off of that program. That's going to have to be a Ricky thing, a Ricky problem, to focus on here. But I'm exhausted. Love shouldn't be this much. It should not, honestly. It definitely, like Kathy was saying. Well, I don't know if you were here in the beginning of the show, but Kathy eloquently brought this whole topic up of like, it should not ever be forced. It shouldn't be forced. It should be a easy flow. It should feel like there's no resistance. We all go through problems and challenges and issues, but it should be a very, very easy flow, very, very easy synchronicity to it. Let me look into what you should be doing with Ricky at this time, because I want to see I want to see if you should keep investing your energy into him, honestly. What Love T, let me pull your energy. There's you. There's Ricky. Okay. So they are showing me to be very conscious and cautious about any initiatives that you're taking towards him, because what they're showing me is that they are getting lost in the fog, lost in the haze, lost in a sense of translation. Quite honestly, I feel like he's misunderstanding you. Like he's not receiving everything that you're saying just because of all of his own clouded vision. It really feels like your messages are not being received by him. And again, when I look into what's coming, they do show me that there is this sort of friction that keeps putting you two in limbo. It is a frustrating place. If this is him and how he reacts to love and emotions and all these feelings, I mean, it really is going to continue to be an energy drain if that's how he's holding it. I honestly just got this vision of you, Love T, of like confronting him and just kind of calling out and be like, you know what? I know you're this is where you are. I know that you have feelings for me. I know that something's going to be, and I know that you're running away from them and terrified from them. So when you're ready to, you know, I don't know if you want to say grow up or what you want to say there, but if you're ready to actually engage in those feelings, then you know where to find me. See you later. Like I have this a feeling of finality that you want to give it, a feeling of definition that you want to give something, just because of the subsequent frustration that's coming up, just because of him not allowing those expressions of feelings. So it's okay. Good, you did say okay. Let's just be friends. He disagreed a little, but he didn't want. He didn't say he wanted otherwise. Yep. I, I I think he's gonna find that when you set that definition, he is going to be hanging on to a lot of energy. I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of regret on his side of like, damn it, why did I do that? Why didn't I just let the feelings out? I was brought this opportunity and I screwed it up yet again. So
Yes.
I just, if that's how he's going to make his bed, then it's good to let him lie on that right now. But this is trust me, this is absolutely affecting him though on a whole emotional level here. You are hitting him on a core level, and how he handles these emotions and how he deals with them, that's all on him. None of that is on you. So you don't have to take responsibility for what he's going through.
Okay, so because I have to be done by 8:30, we're just gonna have to, sorry, we just have to move on. So
You got
we
this, Love
do
T, honestly. You know what you're doing. You've already set that definition there.
we do have a couple more here. So I just wanted to let you guys know, Haley, I did get your payment. I don't know if you knew this, but our donation list is like if you donate under $10, we do put it into a lottery list. So I don't know if we're going to have time to do the lottery, but we will try to get to the question. I don't know if you want to add more to that or not, but we are kind of running behind here. So Neelam is next, actually.
Neelam. All right, Neelam, Scorpio. Can I get a message from my spirit guides? Feel like they have something to say.
Just give me a second here. Okay. It feels, Neelam, as though you've been really tapping into higher source, is what I've been getting. Not just with your guides, but it feels like really tapping into yourself, your higher self, your higher consciousness, your higher energy is what it almost feels as though you're receiving messages from your higher self. I really want to say that you already know what the messages are from your spirit guides, okay? But what I'm getting here, okay, so they're really showing me the energy of above, as above, so below. All right. And it's interesting because as I'm looking at your energy, I am literally seeing, that again, that chakra system all aligning. I really feel that you're tapping into the higher source, but you're staying in a grounded energy which is what I feel that they're applauding you for. I feel like before, perhaps when you were tapping into higher consciousness, you sort of went into an energy of you weren't 100% grounded at the time. So it feels as though you were sort of floating. You weren't really in a place of being grounded, but now you're being grounded. And I keep getting this energy from them that they can now open up more, or that you're allowing yourself to be able to open up more, that more messages are going to be coming through. And I keep getting, so I don't know if have you been tapping into, or have you been allowing, I almost feel like I'm a sense of a medium ship energy coming through, like those of the like past loved ones coming through, or perhaps just spirit type of energy that's coming in for you. I'm not sure if Neelam's still watching, if she's here or not, but what I'm
I'm not
getting,
sure.
yeah, I'm not really sure, but I really feel as though you're allowing yourself to be more open, more grounded, that there's going to be more messages coming through. I really feel a lot of spirit activity. Now, this doesn't mean haunted or anything like that. It just feels like you're getting messages from those that perhaps have passed over, or just spirit in general, from those that have passed over. It really feels like you're going to be in this place where you're really tapping into higher source and getting a lot more messages. I'm also getting something about perhaps a career. So I don't know if you were thinking of doing this as a career, or if you're seeking a new career, because it almost feels as though financially, I feel a flow of energy coming towards you. So again, I don't know if you're looking for a new job, or if you're thinking about maybe perhaps pursuing this as a career in some way. But I feel like a financial source is being flown to you, or going to be flowing to you very soon, like a higher financial source. I hope that helps. I'm going to let Brandon.
Sure, just taking care of things in the chat here. So first off, Neelam, again, not sure if you're here, love, but there really is a beautiful receptivity happening in your energy. I mean, you've got some major psychic awareness. I don't know what happened during this Scorpio season for you, but Spirit keeps showing me that you were just ripped wide open. I totally understand why Kathy is like bringing up that mediumship energy, because I can see you accessing different realms with your consciousness. There's something very, very cool here. Specifically, what Spirit is showing me is that it is as if you've gotten in touch with the soul, the inner child, and the emotions all wrapped up into one. And there is like probably information being fed, channeled, streamed, downloaded into your consciousness right now. So I don't know if you've been in high anxiety lately, how it's been reacting in you, because whenever these downloads, these channelings happen, it can affect us, all of us, differently. Really, what Spirit keeps pulling me to is because you're in this vulnerable state, because you're opening up to so many different energies, that they keep showing me that you really need to rely on friends right now. They keep showing me to be around friends, to initiate contact, connection, moments with friends, because these need to be that bright, shining light, to help you remember why you have allowed yourself to be open in the first place. And it is for these deeper sense of connection. So they're really pulling me to the attention of you investing into connections, friendships, things that are mutual. And they're showing me a key word here, which is loyalty. Loyalty, being with people who are loyal. That seems to be extremely important. But I think your guides, Kathy's better at connecting here with guides, but I can feel when I connect to somebody and I hear their own guides, spirits, etc., it kind of comes through to me as like a team, like a spirit team, and I just hear one unified voice. If they are speaking directly to me, otherwise they're showing me visions, etc. Sorry, I think my camera is glitching out a little bit, but they're showing me that, hey, we're paying attention and we're having this mutual communication, like we're doing something together, and it feels of mutual benefit. So you've really put yourself in a great space as far as your own psychic, maybe even mediumistic, intuitive abilities. I literally see you accessing different realms of consciousness and being active in all of them at one time, which is freaking cool. That is so cool. I love that. Commend that so much. But right now, do not shrug off holding yourself back. Don't hold off secluding yourself or being like the hermit. It's definitely the time to be connecting with friends right now. That feels extremely important. So,
I feel like that's where that grounding came in too, is like you're not
yeah,
supposed to be,
yeah.
just in this subconscious or higher energy, because you're going to be getting a lot of messages from that grounding energy as well. So again, it's like as above, so below. So you don't want to be in this place where you're just in the clouds, just in that hermit energy.
Oh. As above, so below. She's got tons of energy up here, which has to equal down here. Okay.
Right.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And it feels like it needs to be that balanced energy. So the
Mhm.
messages, a lot of times people get confused. They think that if they're trying to access higher energy, that they only have to be in meditation, or that they only have to be secluded, but sometimes our deepest messages will come to us when we're just interacting. Like, how many times have you and I just been having a conversation, all of a sudden, boom, or it's like today, when I was just sitting there cleaning my kitchen, and that's when I heard, move your car, move your car, move your car. That's where we get a lot of our information. Sometimes we're staying present and still connecting with those around us, still allowing ourselves to have those interactions. So that is what will make that difference. And that's where we'll really start seeing it, when we're just staying in seclusion, or if we're just staying in a place where we're just accessing the messages. Sometimes those messages aren't going to be as clear to us as we want them to be. So,
Just gotta be grounded. Ground that energy, love.
yeah. So Diana is next, and she sent her message here. And so her question was, energy between her and Andy. He is a Leo, or I am a Leo, he is a Pisces. They had a super strong connection. Now we are no longer in contact, and it feels like we hate each other. I'm moving forth every day, and I'm strong, but want a deeper understanding, please.
Andy is Pisces. Right?
Yes, he is a Pisces, and she is a
Okay.
Leo. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So usually with the Pisces energy, they can be very, Pisces always have an intuitive energy for the most part. However, if they do not have the proper, I guess, guidance as they're growing up, or throughout their life, what can happen with that energy is, even though they can be very intuitive, they're not going to be very they sort of mix the signals up. Okay. And this is what I get in some way with Andy. Now, what I'm saying, that is basically what I'm saying is, it feels as though Andy he doesn't really know how to connect with himself in some way. I'm also getting that he has a very overthinking energy that runs behind his main frame. I guess that's the best way to say it. It's like, I feel like even though you guys had a good connection, an excellent connection, I feel like there was some growing that really wanted to happen here. There is this energy there that something got lost in the communication somehow. And it almost feels as that both of you were sort of in this overthinking, overanalyzing, not really sure what that next step was to some degree energy that's going on. It almost feels like I don't feel an energy of hate between the two of you, but what I do get is an energy of disconnection because of the lack of communication. And it almost feels like you would have to sit and really speak everything that you wanted to say in a clear and concise way. And he would need to speak in a clear and concise way. And then the both of you, but it's almost like you're both talking, but nobody's listening, if that makes any sense. So it almost feels as though there was a lack of listening to some degree because you're both over analyzing everything. I'll be honest. I feel that this connection could have a possibility of reconnection. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be right away, but I do feel it's not a hate that I'm getting from you. I do feel almost an energy of both missing each other, but not exactly sure, not exactly knowing how exactly to come together. So when you say that you're moving forward, I think that it's a good thing to continue moving forward, but I'm not calling it moving forward. I'm calling it more like grounding and growing within yourself, because as you do that, he is going to ground and grow within himself, which is going to allow this energy to possibly come back together in a different and more mature type of way. Now, please don't think that I'm calling you guys immature in any way. Okay. I'm not saying that in any way. But it just feels as though you're both so tight within yourselves that as you expand, you're going to be able to connect like that again. It feels as though you guys had this connection energy, and then somehow in that it almost went individual. And then but I feel like through the growing and the grounding within yourselves, you're going to be able to connect on a deeper, stronger level. I
Yeah,
don't I don't know if it's going to be immediate, but I do feel it coming through again. Go ahead. Sorry, Brandon. I didn't mean to.
yeah, let me just jump in here real quick because I know you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
When I'm connected here, Diana, with you and Andy, the very first thing that I have shown is there is a definite like psychic emotional connection that you both have. Very natural, very easy, and quite abundant. But what Spirit is showing me is that there was so much going on in these higher realms of consciousness that it made all of your direct physical actions totally clouded over. It's as if, you couldn't put those roots down, you couldn't put the anchor down because you couldn't see directly in front of you because you were so enveloped in the experience. It's as if you could feel the mist on your face from the clouds, of all this haze and all this intense connection. And it didn't allow you to see all these little direct steps. So you literally had to navigate through a sense of unknown. And what it feels like with Andy is I feel like he got to this point where he just shut off emotions. I don't know if he did this intentionally or if it was just a symptom of what was going on around you, but it was a lot and definitely overloading. And when I asked Spirit about what he wants, what are his intentions as far as you, they're showing me that his sole intentions is to get back into a state of harmony and then create an initiation between the both of you. And so they are showing me that he does have to go through this transformation in himself, that he does have to rewrite some patterns in himself. And he really has to confront this sort of weird, snaky, slinky kind of like movements that he took Because it's not like he was trying to do that. It's just the way that he went about his actions that it was a little bit of a disconnect. And I feel like that's also what contributed to that full haze here. But when I asked Spirit, what do you need to focus on right now, Diana? They're showing me to focus on the bond, but hold it at that space of like, okay, we have this really amazing friendship. We have this really great connection. Let's hold things here for right now because things have to get cleared out so we can see clearly the steps that our connection is taking here. Because you don't want it to just take it on a ride and you getting lost in the fog and haze and, your ship is sailing through this haze and then you all of a sudden run into an island. That's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to find that island that you can root everything down so that you can allow the relationship to ground itself and to grow from that space. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Not being friends right now, that's okay. Kathy and I are both seeing this reconnection surface. So when it does, just focus on like, okay, let's be at that friendship first right now. Let's not get over our heads. Let's not get over, overwhelmed here. We got to take it a little bit slow so we don't get lost in that haze.
Yeah. I don't feel that there's a rush here. I don't feel there's a rush here at all. This is all going to be, again, about the growing and the, just working on yourselves individually. And then you'll see when you guys are ready, that Spirit will just bring you together again. It will just, oh, absolutely. Don't hold yourself back from seeing other people. That's the worst thing that people can do is, they get so connected in the, I'm supposed to be with this person and they don't allow themselves that energy of bringing, that's okay. It doesn't, and I mean, as long as you're not with anybody right now, it's okay to date, right? And
Exactly.
absolutely, because, when you guys are supposed to be together, you will come together. And, a lot of people will say, well, I don't want to, if I'm supposed to be with this person, I don't want somebody else to get in the way. You know what? If that other person is supposed to be there, they're going to stay.
They'll show up. They'll make themselves known.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's absolutely okay. And I think you guys, I just feel like there's just a little bit more individual growth. And
Yeah, it's like those roots of the tree have to grow a little bit firmer.
Yeah.
So that way you can share in that stability together.
Yeah.
You're like almost there. It's almost there.
Guys, we have to go. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Thank you everybody for being here. Brandon, if people are looking for a personal reading, where can they contact you?
Head on over to thedreamteacher.com, dreamteacher.com.
And if you are looking for a personal reading with me, you can contact me at oracleintuitions.com or through my Facebook or my Instagram at Oracle Intuitions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing night. Everybody take care. And, thank you for being here. We will see you next Wednesday. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brandon. Bye.